everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Fifi Quest. I'm Fifi Dosch. I'm the one doing this. Yeah. Look, alright, I don't want to be unladylike right off the bat, but I just want to share something. I'm going to tell you all that masturbating on estrogen is way different than on testosterone. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like, on testosterone, it's like you're going into Valvoline and there's never a line. You know, on estrogen, it's like you gotta take a bath for 45 minutes and then you gotta, like, imagine, you know, a 9-tentacled vagina angel, like, building a hot cowboy out of the wind. And that's just what it is. Welcome to Fifi Quest. You subscribed for these insights. It's good to see you all. I hope you're all having a good night. I don't know if I am. You know, here's the thing, you guys. Like, I want to, big part of this podcast is I want to goof around and just have fun. Big part of it, too, is I want to, like, document my transition and what's going on. And I'm setting, like, specific times that I'm going to do this in. Like, I'm not going to tell you what time of day it is, but I'm going to do one this time on this night. Because I don't want to just be like, hey, I'm doing great all the time. I'm not doing particularly great right now. I just feel a lot of ugh right now. Sometimes I'm walking around and I just feel so on it, and I feel so beautiful, and I feel so free, and I feel so, I can finally be who I want to be. And sometimes it's just like you walk by the mirror and you're like, oh, really? That's what I look like, huh? That's my face? Cool. Gotta shave again today, do I? Cool. Gee, why is my underwear feel all tangled up and weird? Oh, it's because my balls are popping out of my panties, that's why. Okay. Yep. That's a thing that happens. Oh, I gotta shave my tits again. Do I? Oh, they're real hairy. It must have been like, a couple months ago since I shaved. 3 days. 3 days it was. Wow. I should go to the county fair, and when they're, giving out the medal for fattest pig and biggest pumpkin, I can get a blue ribbon for most hair grown on tits over time. I'm goofing around, and I don't want to be in self-pity or anything. Headline is I'm really lucky. I have everything I need, and I'm going where I need to go, Not a cis girl. I'm a trans girl. That's what I am. Can't do it all overnight. That's okay. What are you gonna do about it, Josephine? You're gonna take your these every morning. That's what's up. That's what you're gonna do. So, anyway, hope you're all doing good. Still enjoying the teen. Finding places to go outside. I don't like walking around outside. I swear it's getting creepier out there. Like, I'm noticing around, I'm finding people, like, yelling on the street a lot more. People, like, sound like they're getting into, like, fights. In, like, my neighborhood, I'm seeing, like, smashed car glass on the ground a lot more. So, I think I said this in the last video. It's like the only people outside are the people who don't give a shit about anyone. So yeah, outside feels weird. And another thing I've noticed is, like, again, I came out as Fifi, like, right before the stay-at-home order happened here in LA. And, that time was so wonderful because that was me showing up to life exactly as who I am. And I was like, wow, this is so lovely. I'm getting so much love back when I show up to life, when I'm actually visible and present in life, when I'm not scurrying around life. And like the negativity in it is this much compared to, can't even see it in the frame. It's overwhelmingly positive. But when I go out now, because of social distancing and because of the virus, I'm scanning around looking for people. I go, okay, where are people? Where are people? Where are the people? Got to stay away from them. There's a person, got to stay away from them. Why do I have to stay away from them? Oh, because it's not safe, it's not safe, it's not safe, and it's not safe because of the virus. But then it's very easy for me to go back, well, no, it's not safe because life is dangerous and no one wants you, and if anyone sees you, they'll hurt you. And that's, been demonstrably untrue for me, but it's been very easy to slip into that old way of thinking with the quarantine rules. So I'm sharing that with friends, and I'm sharing that all with you, so I can remember that that's not true. And I can use spiritual energy to try to get on a new way of thinking. Because that's how I feel I have to get better. I have to surrender to spiritual energy. I can't think my way out of my problems. It's one thing I've noticed a lot more is I feel like, this is going to sound fucked up, but since I've been transitioning into a woman, I feel like learning is less important to me. I feel like a Don Draper kind of dude from the 50s. Like, you see what I've been saying? That TRAN is the only one who has the balls to admit it. But what I mean by that is, I was so in my head when I was living as a boy because I distrusted life so much, and I thought life was adversarial. I thought life was something I had to outsmart. As opposed to now, where I'm learning to look at life as something I cooperate with, and I'm learning to feel more rather than think more. My life was very arid and just spiritless, and I just thought if I could just learn how the world works, I can manipulate it to whatever I want or whatever I need. And I can't. And the times I could, it wasn't really what I needed anyway. Yeah, there are people I found who can live like that and be prosperous in a way, and I don't envy them because I'm in entertainment. I have some friends who are pretty famous who on paper have wow, they achieved X, Y, and Z. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I do nothing but and plot revenge against those who would keep me from it. And boy, will they all pay when they're consigned to the flames. But the point of it is I know people who've achieved things that are my dream, and it's not filling their hole in their hearts. And I know that sounds like a canard. It sounds like a fucking chain email. To actually see that in people you care about, be like, oh yeah, that inspirational meme, that is correct. I know a lot of people who are ultra successful and ultra unhappy. And I want my success to be an offspring of my happiness. I don't want to, construct this big pandemonium of a life of success and then try to feel okay, well, and then just try to spend my life either trying to convince myself I'm happy or trying to squeeze it in there when I've left no place for it. I spent a lot of my life convincing myself I was happy, and that's the thing that I think is that's a very scary thing about transitioning as seen by people on the outside of it, I think. um, pre-transition, a lot of what I thought my personality was really just, why is there a siren going by? Don't commit crimes during the teen. You know, what am I saying? That's the perfect time to commit crimes. I was reading the other day. There's this serial killer who went out during the bombing of London and just started killing people because it's like, oh, I don't. There's Nazis. I don't care about prostitutes. Hitler could be genociding prostitutes. They'd still be like priority 5 on groups of people he's killing. So have a good time. Have a good time, serial killers. This is the second time the bombing of London has come up on this podcast. I have such a weird cadre of references. It's not what the word cadre means, but it felt like it when it came out of my mouth. What I'm saying, what I guess, getting back on track, a lot of what I thought my personality was really just a series of painful defense mechanisms that I had grown comfortable with. And, you do that for long enough, you can start to convince yourself, well, this is just who I am. This is who I am deep down inside, because I've never known anything different. And even though I'm in pain, it is comfortable to me. And it's very, 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 very easy to take comfort in pain. And I think deciding not to live that way anymore is either very, very inspiring or very, very threatening to people. I really think that's what transphobia really is. I mean, misogyny, homophobia, blah, 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 whatever. Like, enough has been, sorry, there's people in the hallway. People are having the most fun in my building during the teen. I love it. Sorry, what I was just saying was I think a lot of what transphobia is I think it freaks people out that, like, something as fundamental about your person, like your gender, people are very threatened by the idea that, like, that could be wrong. I think, I know I certainly was for a lot of my life. Like, everything is fine, I am fine, I'm fine. I was not fine at all. But I had convinced myself I was, because the gap between not fine and fine was intimidating. And on some level, I knew I didn't have the skills to get there at the time. I think there are other people in the world like that. And I think trans people specifically represent the idea that, like, something very, very, very basic that you take for granted could be wrong. I mean, that's scary. That's like a fucking Neil LaBute play. I mean, it's threatening to people. It's a scary thing. It scared the hell out of me for 33 years, but the flip side of it is it depends how positive you want to be. Yeah, something like that fundamental about you can be incorrect, and it can be a journey to correct it. But it can be corrected. I think that's the thing to take from it. Life is good. Life is good and happy, and there's a lot of fucked up things in it, but I really believe, and I mean internal and external, I really believe that they can be overcome. I mean, most of the obstacle to correcting those things for me weren't anywhere external. They were just 100% smoke screens in my own head. Like, I've talked on previous episodes, like, it's surprisingly easy to start transitioning granted, I'm in California. I don't know what it's like where you live, but like it was a matter of going to the psychologist, being like, "Hey, this is what's up." They referred me to another doctor, and I got on. It's like buying a gun. They want to help you. so, so that's that. And I think, I guess I'm just talking about transphobia because I was walking around and a guy like yelled some mean things at me the other day. When things like that happen, I want to share what I do, to deal with that emotionally. Um, it's very important to me not to be like, look what I have to deal with. My life is so unfair. This is bullshit. Other people don't have to deal with this. Life is against me. Because that's not true. Like, I really think it's a good idea for, like, I really benefit. I have a lot of, like, just straight ass, dude ass friends that I share a lot of things with. And, like, things I deal with, like feeling like I can't, like people don't respect, like I can't go outside because people are gonna hassle me. A lot of like just dude ass dudes have similar fears for reasons that are just as valid as mine. I was talking with my friend Jesus the other day. He was telling me how he was in a laundromat and a guy pulled a gun on him and robbed him in a laundromat for his fucking quarters. Man got robbed for change. That's never happened to me. So, I really don't. I find a lot of, like, media that's marketed at, like, trans people and queer people, like, I hate to say this, but, like, 99.9% on the internet that's meant for trans people, I don't watch because it's so fucking negative. It paints this view of the world that, like, oh, you can't do this. They're allowed to get you fucking cis people or straight white males or whoever or this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, ugh. It just reeks to me of like people who are not going outside, who are not like, who aren't giving life a chance, or feeling terminally unique and the biggest wellspring of love and support I got from my whole thing was at the Comedy Store, which is, a not unearned reputation for being a broy place, but like everyone there was so happy for me and supportive of me and loving of me and just wants the best for me and is just with me 100% of the way. They're not patronizing either, and I get scared walking down the street, thinking like someone's gonna harass me. I have found it really helpful to ask like straight ass cis ass people, being like, hey, do you ever like deal with that or worry about that? 9 times out of 10, the answer is yeah. And then I don't feel so alone. I don't feel like what I deal with is so special. I don't feel like my challenges are insurmountable. They start to feel like not such a big deal at all, to be honest. I was telling a friend of mine, like if I get called a faggot by a homeless guy, or like like someone who's like clearly a drug addict on the street, like I don't care. Because like I'm like, okay, well that person's like clearly like suffering in their own like hellish world of shit. And that really applies to anyone. That applies to anyone, whether they're a homeless drug addict or not. You know, if I can be like, I don't have to lower myself to his world of shit with certain people, I can do it with anybody. And you know what? I've been that person too, who's been like, I'm miserable. I want to drag you down into my world of shit. So I can have compassion for that person. I certainly... And that's all easier said than done, but I at least don't... At the very least, I don't have to pour gas on, like, the flicking pilot light of... Life is such bullshit, people are assholes. Like, I can be like, yeah, suggestion noted. And then let it go. Because I'll say it in every fucking video if I have to. This has been such an overwhelmingly wonderful, positive, loving experience for me. You know, from my friends in California to my friends from my Catholic high school in rural-ass South Dakota. Which is redundant, rural-ass. I'm actually from a big town in South Dakota. That's 25,000 people is a big town. That's the third largest city in South Dakota. And it's like... You want to know some small town-ass shit? I was talking about this with a friend. Like, you know you're from a small town? If you remember on 3-day weekends going to like a kind of bigger town to just like go to the mall for 3 weeks and buy shit because you didn't have like online ordering and you didn't really have anywhere to buy clothes or anything good in your shitty small town. That's how you know you're from a small town. We used to go to Sioux Falls on Martin Luther King Day and President's Day because they had a mall. And they had Red Lobsters and shit, so they thought they were better. Red Lobster is a status symbol in South Dakota. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? And they get senators? Not in Fif's America. So, oh, by the way, another thing I wanted to say about dealing with, like, negativity from the outside, I have found that, like, getting fucked with or, like, getting mean comments said to me from people when I'm outside, when I don't feel good about myself, that shit happens way more. Okay? Alright? That's my fucking California LA magic for you. It's true. When I don't feel good about myself, shit happens more. When I don't give a fuck and I feel happy, it happens way less. You know, an analogy I like is like, say you're playing a video game like an open world GTA or like a World of Warcraft kind of thing. And like, you know, there's NPCs walking around and everything, and it's like, you look at a world like that and you're like, okay, everyone's like where they're meant to be. For a long time in my life, I didn't feel like that. I felt like I kind of like scurried and I kind of like snuck through life to avoid detection. I feel like I'm here, but I'm not like programmed to be. What I'm trying to do now is walk down the street slowly and confident and be like, yeah, I'm part of the program. This is where I'm meant to be right now. And even if I'm like a little weird compared to my surroundings, like I guess I'm the weird person who's meant to be here in this moment, you know? Transitioning is kind of like an MMORPG anyway. You wander through, you level up, you get new skills, you get new clothes, new items, and you level up your character. I'm just saying, I want to get my estrogen up to regular levels so I can stop making fucking analogies like this. Oh boy. Yeah. If I don't feel good about myself and I go out into life, it's like I'm trying to multiply by 0. I'm bringing myself into life, but all I'm bringing out is 0 in love for myself Doesn't matter how they feel, it's going to come out to zero. If I have a lot of love for myself, and maybe I'm in a situation where possibly my surroundings don't, it's going to multiply out to a high number anyway. So, anyway, let's take a look at the old notes. See what else I got here. Oh, I'll say this. Been talking a lot about like love during this podcast, love for myself and love from others and love for others. My theory about love now is I think that love and vulnerability are the same thing. You know, I went through life very calloused and unfeeling pre-transition, and I slip into it sometimes still. I really want to feel like soft and gooey and vulnerable and trust that it's safe to be so in life. And I think when, I'm soft and gooey and vulnerable with you, what I'm saying to you is I trust you. I believe that you are good. I believe that you are caring. And I think you're great. And that's why I'm choosing to bear something in vulnerability that's valuable to me, myself. And I think to say all those things about a person or a thing those are the basis of what love is. I value you. I cherish you. I think you are good. You're worthwhile. And you're worthy of that. And if I can do that to life too, then I'm showing that same thing to life. If I'm vulnerable on life, I'm saying life is good. And life is worthy of bearing myself to it. And that's an action I can take, because I used to hold a lot of beliefs that didn't match my reality. And sometimes my head tells me things about life or about myself that don't really match how I'm living, I take a lot of action during the day. If I look at what I really do in a day, no matter how I feel, I'd be like, wow, Fifi, you did this for yourself and you did this for yourself. You must really care about yourself very much. And sometimes maybe that's not what my brain's telling me, but when I can look at that in concrete and I go, oh yeah, you're right, I do. It's like it gives me permission to agree that I love myself. So that's what I think love is. And I want to be a big loving girl. And I want to, I want to be a big beam of good vibes just going through places, I always think of Joey Diaz, how everyone calls him Uncle Joey when he's walking around, just because he's like the warmest, friendliest, like most convivial guy. When he's like coming through, it's like, all right, good vibes are coming through. Uncle Joey's here. My goal is I just want to be everyone's Aunt Fifi. So, all right, everyone, that's about a half hour. It feels like a good episode to me. I hope you're all staying safe. Yeah. Wash your fucking hands. Don't stick a public doorknob in your pussy. Even when there's not a quarantine, I'll suggest not to do that. I find it unladylike. Alright, well, I'm going to pop off. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys could subscribe on YouTube or on Apple or on Spotify or however you're listening to this, I would really appreciate it. If you would want to leave a review, I would really appreciate that so much. I'm trying to grow this podcast as much as I can. Really appreciate you all checking it out. If you have a question or a comment, or you just want to write in and I don't know, if you just want to connect and say something to me, I would love to hear from you. You can send an email to fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com or leave it in the comments on one of these videos somewhere. I will see it. So thank you so much and have a great night. Love you guys.